I actually think there is a little bit of value on the underdog, Teddy. This is going to be an absolute war. Artur Beterbiev, the champion, every single one of his fights is finished by stoppage. He's got a 100% KO ratio. Facing him is again Anthony Yarde, who has seen 22 of his 23 wins coming via stoppage as well. So these guys are absolute freight trains. Someone's very likely getting stopped, which is why we see an over-under 5.5 in this one on Saturday. In terms of breaking down the fight, a lot of people have said they expect this one to go the same way as Beterbiev's last fight against Joe Smith Jr. Another guy who hits like a Mack truck as well. Beterbiev stopped them inside of 2 rounds because they were just swinging from the outset. But, there are some major differences between the two fighters that actually favour Yarde a bit more in this one. While Smith in that last fight does hit with a ton of power as well, he kind of generates that off those big sweeping hooks, which was something that Beterbiev was then able to come right down the pipe at him, down the middle, and absolutely devastated Joe Smith Jr. on the inside, getting that stoppage. But that's not Anthony Yarde. Yarde is fast twitch. He's explosive. He has excellent counter over on right. He can land from the outside as well. He can time that uppercut on the inside. So this fight won't have that same sort of, dynamic here where Beterbiev is given that same amount of time and space on the inside in which to operate like he did against Smith, punish him with those short, sharp punches on the inside, because Yarde is a fighter who feasts on guys on the inside as well. Yarde's only 2 losses over his career so far have come from fighters who employed a great jab against him. Sergey Kovalev, Lyndon Arthur were both able to break Yarde down from the outside with a jab, something Yarde corrected in his rematch against Lyndon Arthur. And while Beterbiev does have an underrated jab himself, it's certainly not his bread and butter in there. Beterbiev likes to get on the inside himself, break an opponent down physically. And that's something we have yet to see any opponent even attempt against Yarde, never mind accomplish. So this is a fascinating fight. Beterbiev's a huge favourite for good reason. He's an absolute monster in the ring. He's technically brilliant as well. But these odds are just too big for me, especially with this fight being in Yarde's backyard of London, with the fact Beterbiev not only dealing with a lot of kind of niggling injuries recently, he's 38 years of age, but he also suffered that monstrous cut down his face against Marcus Brown just over a year ago as well. So I'm going to take a flyer on Anthony Yarde to win in rounds 4 to 6 in this one at plus 2,500 on Saturday.
Wow.
Stick some pizza money on that. Beterbiev is the much better technical fighter of the two, obviously, but Yarde has that equalizer. He's got absolutely tremendous power, and Beterbiev can be caught. Callum Johnson proved that, put him down and hurt him. So, yeah, stick out the oats for me this weekend. I'll come in for a bit of a nibble of that plus 2,500 price, not the Yarde to win in the middle rounds.